may I take this opportunity to acknowledge the members of the board of the International Office of Catholic Education, or the OIEC. Let us give them a round of applause. They are, since yesterday, meeting at the Betania Retreat House here in Cebu. Yesterday, members of your national board met with the OIEC, and in that meeting resolved that CEAP, which is one of the largest organizations of Catholic schools and universities in Asia, should be more involved in the advocacies and programs of OIEC. I have always dreamt of CEAP sending its Catholic educators as missionaries in other countries in Asia and Africa. Not simply tourists going around and buying damgin. Rather, as missionaries sharing excellence to the young people of other countries. The next step is to get involved. This is the right time for engagement. President Noy actually gives us the cue in his SONA, and I quote, "Tungkulin po ng bawat Pilipino na tutukan ang mga pinunong tayo rin naman ang nagluklok sa pwesto. Humakbang mula sa pakikialam tungo sa pakikilaho. Dahil ang nakikialam, walang hanggan ang reklamo. Ang nakikilaho, nakikibahagi sa solusyon." Tama, mali? Mahina pa. Tama, mali? Pwede rin yun sa paaralan. This is advocacy. As an organization, we need to constantly review how we help shape education in the country and be able to influence policies. We have been working hard on this aspect too. In fact, last July 16, our Advocacy Commission held a summit to prepare CEAP for engagement with the new administration. In the said forum, which was graced by no less than CEAP's very own Brother Armin Luistro of the Department of Education, a sustainable network of advocates for CEAP across the country was created. In that sense, also, last September 1, 2010, the CEAP National Board wrote an urgent appeal for the continuing improvement of the GOSPE program on the ESC. And the appeal letter was sent to Brother Armin. We resolved to press the following concerns. Brother, please listen. That the educational voucher system, EVS, be scrapped and the remaining funds be transferred to the ESC. Nakasan niyo pa palakpak para maramdaman. That the present amount given to ESC students be increased from 5,000 to 8,000 per student per level. That the ESC not only be given to high school but also to grade school. That the total number of slots for the ESC grantees be increased from 700,000 to 1 million beneficiaries. You already said yes to that. That the teacher's subsidy of 250 pesos per student for every ESC student be increased to 1,000 per student. And that the teacher's subsidy be integrated in the tuition subsidy. Where did this come from? It was signed by all the members of the National Board, but this resolution came from CEAP Mindanao. And pushed by Region 2 at the University of La Salle in Santiago City. Through various advocacies and by strengthening communication among regions, we have ensured a proactive, synergistic response to prevailing and emerging issues and concerns of private education, firmly grounded in scriptures and church's teaching. For as Pope John Paul the Great said in his encyclical Ex Corde Ecclesiae, and I quote, "If need be, we must have the courage to speak uncomfortable truths which do not please public opinion, but which are necessary to safeguard the authentic good of society." And finally, we influence policies in the national government, in our own backyard. We must also work on implementing the pillar programs on justice and peace education, engaged citizenship, environment and sustainable development, poverty reduction, gender and development, and the common denominator is youth empowerment. This year's convention actually highlights one of our pillar programs, ecology. It is also a continuation of the convention thrust of stewardship, which we started last year in Manila. Last year in Manila, we focused on leadership as stewardship. This year, we focus on stewardship of creation. Father Greg Banyaga, CM, will give us the overview of the 3-day convention later, but suffice it to say that all our efforts, from the programs to activities and services, to the regions, to national conventions, and to the schools above all, should allow us to reflect and examine ourselves and the organization. It is also worth mentioning that this year was declared by the United Nations as the 2010 International Year of Biodiversity. The churches are partners of the UN in increasing the awareness of Christians all over the world. Today, between 12 to 2, the churches would have pealed their bells to show solidarity with the UN in promoting biodiversity. And so I am back where I began with a question, not simply welcoming, but a question, naaabot ba natin ang kabataan para mahubog sila ng maayos? Bakit pa tayo nasa paaralan kung hindi tayo nakakahubog ng mga Pinoy na may pagmamahal sa ilang bayan at makatutulong sa pag-asenso nito? Dapat makapaghubog tayo ng mga kabataan na makikilahok upang ipahayag ang mensahe. At si Kristo, ang kanyang simbahan, ang ating mensahe. Kristo, simbahan, bayan. At ang bayan na dapat nating mahalin at pagsilbihan. Magtulungan tayo sa convention, hindi sa isa't isa lamang o hindi para sa kabataan. Year po ng kabataan ngayon. Year po natin lahat. Maraming salamat po. Major ang convention na ito. Thank you and welcome.